Today we're out near Granbury Square and we're continuing our tour looking at the pros and cons of buying a lakefront home here in Granbury. There's actually several lakefront communities that are going to be located down this little cove. I'm going to highlight it on the map so you can see the entry point. If you snake back around, you can get to a little neighborhood called Old Mill, where we have the last lakefront lot that can be bought. It's a historic neighborhood, so we're going to give you some more details of that in office. It's going to go for around $2 million, that property, but it's going to be a brand new home. So we are right here off the square. There's some homes you'll see that are existing homes you'll see sell on Bridge Street. We're going to highlight two of those for you when we drive out into the neighborhood and give you some footage there. But we wanted to show you from the lakeside where you're located. So we are right in the center. We just passed the 377 bridge, and we're going to highlight this for you in the office, and we're going to go back and show you how did this area fare during the drought from 20 years ago. So as we continue giving you a deep dive of this, don't forget, we started this video as about a 14-part series. It would be several hours long if we put it all together in one. So what we've decided to do is kind of break it up into pieces. On the first video, we did a highlight of Lake Granbury, things you need to know about it being a water reservoir and some of the things that some of the people coming from out of town aren't aware of. So go back, make sure you stay tuned to that video and get the overview. If you don't want to watch everything on it, obviously you might see some neighborhoods that you're not really interested in. If so, just go take a look at that first one, and then you can watch this one, and we're going to meet you in the office. We're going to go over everything you need to know about some of these neighborhoods and opportunities right here around the square. And so stay tuned, hope you enjoy. All right, so we're out here right off of 377. In front of me is the 377 bridge. There's a little restaurant here called Rockin's Bar and Grill. I've actually rented a pontoon boat for a kid's birthday party in there before. I had some family that was in. So it's a good place you can eat. It's located on the water, obviously, but you can also rent boats and stuff. Over here to our right, they're doing some commercial work. You're gonna have a Starbucks, Walmart, Home Depot, and some other restaurants along this side. This is kind of the central city where most of the shopping's going down. We're gonna make a turn around the lake here in just a second. We're gonna be right on Granbury Square. This is where all the hustle and bustle is, and we're gonna highlight a few things for you. Just wanted to kind of show you a few things. There's this Dulce Vita, not quite assisted living, but a lot of folks do move in there in their latter years, so great little community there. So here's Sandy Beach. It's right down from the Hilton, right off of Granbury Square. Lots of families are out playing in the water. It's like a little sandy beach area. Lots of tourists come here, especially if they're visiting. We've gone out there a few times, but nice area. Just wanted to highlight it in case this is your first time seeing Granbury. So we're in the office looking at lakefront properties that are on or near Granbury Square. There's several little streets and communities around the square where you can get waterfront access and have some premium waterfront homes. We highlight a couple of different neighborhoods or areas when we do our neighborhood tour, when we're driving around some of the streets. Today, we're just going to do an overview with some drone footage and show you this area in general. And from there, we're going to jump into Google Map view and show you some water depth along the shoreline. Before we look at the Google Earth, I want to actually jump into some drone footage that we have of the area around Granbury Square. So I'm just going to share my screen with you, and we're going to pull up this drone footage. So this is Old Mill Crossing. We actually have some drive around footage of this neighborhood. It's in the historic district, so it is operating according to rules of historic homes. But as you see, there are some new homes going in, and there are beautiful waterfront properties there. We have the last lot available for a waterfront home. If you want it, it is the very last one that's available, and it's going to be, I believe this lot, I believe it's the one that's cleared there next to the one being built. Yeah, we are looking at about $2 million for that property once everything is said and done. If you want to add some things to it, it could go higher than that. If you want to add a pool, if you want to dock, there are some things that might have to be factored in as well. But we're going to turn around now and show you where this canal leads. We're going to turn around. And so looking at where this canal goes, it will actually wrap around and it goes out to the main body. So the main body is going to be out to the right. Yeah, you see the bridge there? So this canal will take you right out to main body if you follow it all the way around. Google Earth, let's go take a look. So this is the Granbury City beach right here. This is the sandy beach that I mentioned. The Hilton Hotel, I believe, is located here. Nope. Actually, the Hilton is located here, I'm sorry. And what we're looking at is going back a few years to see how these areas fared during the droughts. Let's look at 2021, we're good. 2018, water levels look good. Water stays incredibly stable here. There was a drought. You can see some of the areas there even showing in 2015. But everything should have access to water there. This is where you're going to see it get more of a problem. Many of them still had access to water. This one right here doesn't. If you're looking at it, this one right here, it looks like it lost water. Many of these probably had a hard time getting their boat. Yeah, all of these lost access. All of these did. Okay, so we see how it fares. Again, going back to 2012, everything's good. It's really 2016, everything is back at stable levels. That's typically what you're going to see out here. There's not a lot of fluctuation. If there is a significant drought, it is affected, as we said. Let's look at the Fisher map. So it doesn't give us all the data as we go further back into the cove, but it does show 15 here, 10, 10. Obviously, the deep portion of the lake is running along this side, on the opposite side of these properties, showing 10 here, 15. So decent depths along that shoreline. And Google Maps. Where is this located? So if we zoom out, these properties are right here. Granbury Square is basically right here, so it's just right off of the square. That property that I showed you, Old Mill, I mean, it's gonna be like here. I mean, it's right on the square. So the square is basically right here. So I mean, you're right on the square from Old Mill. It's 2 minutes walk and you're at, on the square eating at one of the restaurants. So how does this fare for travel? Well, pretty good. So if you live here, you can go get up on the loop and come down this way. The traffic really from here to here is where it's bad. So you only get one little short portion of bad traffic as you merge on the 377. And, about right here, it really opens up. So traveling to HEB is okay. If you're going back into town and you got to go through this portion during rush hour, maybe to get to Walmart or one of the restaurants on this side of town, you may hit a little backup traffic here. Going to Fort Worth, you're just going to hit this loop and go this way. It shouldn't be too bad. It's just this little slowdown right there. Other than that, you're in pretty good shape. If you're going to Weatherford, actually, this is a good location because you're located right on one of the main roads that take you up to Weatherford. So you just... we have people that, the wife works in Weatherford, husband works, in Granbury or toward Fort Worth, and, kind of get in the middle. They really like the Granbury area, and so they try to even out their drive times. So this is one perk about living in this location. If you're going to make frequent Weatherford trips, that is something to note. Now, as far as HOAs, Old Mill Crossing is $100 a year, not much to it. It is in the historic district. So it does have to obey certain rules with historic homes and architectural committee and maintaining that historic status. The two homes that we're going to highlight on Bridge Street are not in HOAs. So we're going to go out and give you some boots on the ground footage of the neighborhood. So not a lot else outside of that, but it is a great area to look at if you're wanting to be really on the square. Obviously, we got the lot, and then there's going to be properties that come up from time to time. You just let us know, and we can set up some parameters and really hone into lakefront properties around the square and make sure we give you anything that comes up. So if you have any questions, call, text, email anytime. Hope you enjoyed the boots on the ground as we drive through the neighborhood, and if we don't hear from you, hopefully we'll see you around Granbury. So we wanted to do a land portion highlighting some properties that are located on the lake around Granbury Square. So there are several little communities, little spots that are off the beaten path that are lakefront communities or lakefront homes on the square. There's not a ton of them. It's a fantastic location, highly coveted area, and when you get some really nice homes, they do have a hefty price tag. So looking right in front of me, we are literally on the square. We're a stone's throw from the Granbury Square. This is a beautiful home here on the lake. Again, another one here to my right. That is a beautiful home located on the lake. We have one more lot in this neighborhood that's for sale on the lake. It hasn't been fully built yet. They're in the process of building the boat dock, and it's going to be a beautiful custom home for whoever wants to purchase it. It is available right now. It's going to start at $2 million, depending on what all you want to add into it. But it is going to be the last opportunity you have to build a brand new home right around the square in Lake Granbury. If you're interested in it, this would be the time. So we're actually located in a little neighborhood called Old Mill Crossing, and it is just a beautiful community. It's actually annexed inside of the historic district, and all of these homes are historic homes, so they have to pass historic codes. And so it's one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Granbury. You literally walk out your front door, and in 5 minutes you're sitting at Christina's table having dinner or lunch. Literally 2 or 3 minutes walk to the square from this neighborhood, and you have a lakefront home that's brand new on the square. Now, if you know much about Granbury, you know that a lot of the properties around the square actually had a water moratorium, so they have a difficulty getting permitting to be able to build new homes. Well, this neighborhood started like 10-15 years ago, and so the permitting's already there, and so you have brand new homes, historic homes that are brand new on the lake, on the square. Very highly coveted area, very sought after, and this is the last one. All the other ones have sold, and this is legitimately the last one. So I'm going to walk around to the bridge around the backside, show you some of these homes from this angle, and then we're going to go tour around and show you Bridge Street and a couple of other areas. So this is a property that was very recently finished. It went around $2 million after everything was said and done. It has a dock and a pool. Just a beautiful layout, beautiful home, very well built, and a wonderful community. Check out some of these homes. These historic homes are they're just gorgeous. I love the look and feel as you walk out here. Obviously you see the sidewalks. This is the Old Mill Bridge. It's a little warm outside, so my head's starting to get a little sweaty. I apologize. All right, so we're walking up to the bridge. Very nice area. Looking down at the lake. You can see Granbury Square from here. Right down there. So they're building the dock here for this home. So they're in the process of getting that done. Got a little cove peninsula area. Very nice location. Tucked back out here. Just like I said, a quarter mile right off the square is a part of the historic district. Brand new homes on the lake. Last one's available in Old Mill. We're gonna go a little flyover. I'm gonna drive you around Bridge Street as well, so you can see some other areas that have some lakefront homes that are not a part of this historic district, and they're not new for the most part. Some of them are renovated, so you have some options like that will come up. You know, if you keep an eye on the square, if you decide, hey, I want to live very close to the square and I want to be on the lake, you're going to be looking at canal homes, and we can set up some searches and help you find them. But I just want to give you a feel for what sort of things are available and what the price points are. All right, so we're going to do a little driving around Bridge, show you this Granbury Square area, and highlight a couple of spots that you can kind of focus on if you're looking for lakefront. And then we'll move on to the next neighborhood. All right, so I wanted to highlight one more property that is also on Granbury Square that has some waterfront property that sold. I think it was about 1.5 years ago. I remember having some folks inquire about it. So we're a stone's throw away from Old Mill, so we're very close. We're on a street called Bridge Street, and this little property here, it's about 1,300 square foot, built in 1985. 3-bed, 3-bath. It's sold for $650. Now it's on 0.6 acres, and it backs up to a really wide canal. So the canal kind of opens up as it gets closer to the main body. The main body is just right across the main road here. I don't know if you can see with this camera, but we're really close to main body. So this little canal here is a little wider than it was at Old Mill. Now this property next door, it also sold recently, and I don't remember the exact specs on it, but it sold for about $750. So you don't see a ton of homes out here come up for sale, but if you did want something on the square, the area is large enough that you will get a couple of opportunities. Every 1.5 years, 2 years, you'll have 1 or 2 chances to get a property on the square or right by the square on the water. So I just wanted to highlight this little area, Bridge Street, as one of those options. If we decide on the square, we can set up a little broader area, but this would be one street that we would want to keep an eye on. And obviously you got the Old Mill lot that's available as well. So 1,300 square foot, 1985, 3-bed, 3-bath, 0.6 acres. It went for $650. So that gives you an idea of kind of what things will go for out here. If this was a new home that was 3,000 square foot, you'd be well over $2 million on a property like this. So with that, we're going to finish up the square. We're going to move on to the next neighborhood, and we'll see you next week.